Hello and welcome to another Spotlight. With me is Chef Heather of Swill Apothecafe in observance of Women's Small Business Month. How's it going, Heather?
I'm all right, thanks. How are you?
I am pretty good,
Good.
especially now that I have finally got you on the show.
I know, right?
Can you tell us how Swill Apothecafe, how did it all begin? How did it start?
Well, Swill kind of happened as one of the latest chapters. We've been open for a year. Before that, I popped up throughout the city under the name of, well, my name is Chef Heather Smith, but then also as Blacksmiths.
Okay.
Um, so we popped up, I guess, about 2015 is when I first started popping up. Um, I had an underground guerrilla dinner before pop-ups were a thing. And
Okay.
um, uh, in my house, I lived in another neighborhood of Baltimore, and
Uh-huh.
we started doing brunches, invitation, kind of word of mouth, invitation only. And we went from one seating to two seatings, and it grew. And then from there, I started doing pop-ups in different locations throughout the city. And that's what we were doing, and pretty consistently, when the shutdown happened with COVID.
Oh,
And then
yes, right.
immediately upon, like, the world in many ways reopening, this space in Pigtown, it was not even the whole space that was available. There was a business that was here that needed some support with food. They were already doing beverages, coffees, and things.
I
And so,
remember that. Yes.
yeah, and so um, I was asked to just do the food, and so I was going to come on for that purpose. Um, and in the middle of kind of planning that menu, etc., the previous business decided that they were going to close, and so I was left standing here with the menu and the opportunity. It was offered to me, like, kind of, you already have a menu, and I was like, so it kind of, not even kind of, it definitely happened at what my brain said was not the best time. So,
Wow.
yeah, but I, like everyone else, had just lived off my savings for 2 years because there was no work. And so it was like, oh, great, I can work again.
Hmm.
And then it turned into, actually, do you want to? So, yeah, that's
I,
how I ended up here.
Heather, I hadn't even heard any facet of that story. I had
Yeah.
no idea.
Uh
And
huh.
and I'm just a professed market research king. I had
Right.
no
Right.
idea it materialized that way. But yes, I do remember the coffee venue that was there. It was pretty cool experience.
Mhm.
And to your initial point, I had no idea that you guys, correct me if I misspeak, that you guys were there simultaneously at first. Is that that's not
No,
what
we
you
were
said?
never in the space together.
Okay, okay,
They were open. We were talking about stuff. I was building out a menu. And before the first day of me doing any food in the space happened, they closed.
oh, okay. Yes, you know what? Yes, I do remember that. Wow. Okay. Well, I tell you, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm in there. I try to get there at least once a week.
Hmm.
I try, but
Yeah.
I have to put this out there. I'm putting myself on Front Street. I just experienced your tacos, Taco Tuesday,
Uh huh.
for the first time. What was that? A couple of weeks ago, maybe a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I was literally mad at myself that it had taken me so long to try those damn tacos.
Where you been?
I I I know that when I say gourmet tacos, I've been telling everyone, my mom, other friends, coworkers, and such, who they say certain things about Baltimore, but they come for the
Yeah.
food. These same folks come for the food, so there should be a new set of customers, if you will, stopping by your place sometime soon. But we'll talk about that later.
Yes. Yes.
So, Swill, there's a lot of restaurants. We get that. Baltimore's restaurant scene in general has always been around, but it's really taken off over the last decade or so. A lot of very specialized venues, gourmet, as I just touched on with your tacos and all of your other dishes that I really love. But having said that, how do you, for comparable type of restaurants, for lack of a better way to put it, how do you differentiate yourself from everyone else?
Um, I think the biggest, not to sound cheeky at all, I think the biggest difference is just that I'm me.
Okay.
Um, and I'm not easily swayed in general. That's just my personality. But also, um, I think that there are awesome restaurants all around.
Right.
And like anything else, I think the first step to anything is to know yourself. Who
Hmm.
are you and what are you doing? And there are some awesome restaurants who are well patronized and being financially successful, and
Hmm.
they are very similar to each other.
Hmm.
Design and menu and food preparation, they are, you know, they are on trend in a way that makes them similar, in my opinion.
Got it.
And I am less moved by trends. I appreciate across the board. I'm a person who values and appreciates classics.
Hmm.
And so that manifests in the way that I cook, and manifests in our menu and our cocktails. That's not to say that I don't think things can use a refresher and we don't put our own creative twist and spin on things.
Right.
Um, but I'm also, I don't lose sleep if I'm not on board the latest TikTok trend. Um, I think that what differentiates us is just I am myself,
Yeah. Yeah.
like always. And that's not to say it's not ever difficult,
Right.
because a lot of what kind of seems to be going around and being rewarded
Hmm.
is, um, I need a plant wall, and I need I don't know, this particular dish on the menu and that particular prepared this way.
Right.
And there's sometimes feedback. Well, so and so does it like this. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, welcome to Swill.
Right. 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 Right.
So yeah, but I think that's the biggest thing, that I'm true to myself, and I just my perspective and opinion about
Mhm.
food and things is different. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Well, I tell you, of course, I'm biased. I mean, like I said, I eat there whenever I can, and
Uh-huh.
I haven't had a bad experience yet. And I don't want to say yet like that, but I'm just saying.
Uh-huh.
But the food is awesome. I mean, the decor. I mean, the from the portraits, the pictures you have. No, portraits. They're not pictures. The
Uh-huh.
portraits that you have on the wall. I mean, the drinks now that you have, serving alcohol and the type of drinks, the way you present it is everything is presentation is everything, right? Um,
Uh-huh.
Again, we just rave about it. We're just glad that you're here, one of the anchors here in Pigtown. You touched on a few things. I don't want to delve too deeply into certain struggles and stuff like that, right? But what has been along those lines? What has been one of the most challenging things from an operational standpoint, the day to day, however you want to present that? What has been most challenging thus far?
Staffing for sure.
Okay.
Like without a doubt, leaps and bounds beyond any other challenge. It's like,
Okay.
um, yeah, finding and retaining staff
Mm,
is a challenge. Um, there are many different opinions about what has happened to the workforce and why.
Yeah.
But yeah, staffing is challenging.
Yeah.
And I've heard other business owners, not just in my industry, but just across the board. Um, yeah, staffing is challenging.
Okay. No, I in the space that I work in on my day to day, I that has been echoed. That's a resounding
Yeah.
statement from a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, etc. So I get it. I get it. But yeah, I mean, you guys, you're still doing your thing. I mean, I keep going back to that, but I can personally attest to it.
Hmm.
So I want to ask a futuristic question, right?
Okay.
Very, very straightforward. Five, give it 10 years. Where do you envision Swill in about 10 years?
Um, fully staffed, fully staffed,
Fully
and
staffed.
um, yeah, I can close my eyes and imagine what Washington Boulevard out here in Pigtown is gonna look like in 10 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm happy to believe that, count that Swill will be amongst the businesses that are still here,
Mm-hmm.
um, and have some neighboring businesses, maybe an offshoot business on
Yeah,
on the block in the neighborhood. But
yes.
yeah, I definitely see us being a part of the neighborhood for a long time.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
we're on the precipice of introducing a whole new dinner menu. So I like that. Yes, we're known for brunch. Yes, we're open for coffees,
Mm-hmm.
etc. Taco
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, but especially with the weather changing and being a little, we want to do some cozy suppers and things, and so
Yeah.
um, yeah, we're just growing up. I think that we'll continue on a upward trajectory
Okay.
and be here for a long time.
So I have to plug this right quick because I haven't had the opportunity to share this with you yet. Um, when I was there, I think it was last week when I was there. I I did not think about getting any dessert. My server, her sweet self, I forgot her name. She was so cool.
Uh
She
huh.
said, "Hey, what's that?"
No, I said, uh huh. I'm listening.
Oh, I thought you said her name. She said, she asked, she said, so, everything was fine, boom, boom, boom. You ate everything. Do you want any dessert? She kind of caught me off guard with that because I'm like, I hadn't planned on having dessert, but I said, but what do you have? So she said, we have the cheesecake over the, oh, help me out.
The
Uh,
funnel cake, cheesecake,
the funnel cake, guys, it's a funnel cake with cheesecake and what
ice
else?
cream, and strawberries. Yeah.
Heather, I brought that home, and I had the ice cream, right? So I'm like, okay, no, I want to handle this. I devoured that damn dessert. Okay,
It's so good. Yeah.
it is that combination, and the cheesecake was perfect. Awesome combination, and I got to give some love to the tacos right quick.
Uh huh.
I tell you guys that the sauce and the way that the jerk was, it wasn't too spicy, it just came in right here. The jerk oxtail taco. I, I'm going to leave that there because I'm starting to salivate a little bit, and I know I'm going to have to wait a minute to get some. I,
Yeah.
folks just going to have to come in and just check it out for themselves.
Yeah, come check it out. Yeah.
There you go, because I'm ready to be back. I'm ready. So, lastly, I always ask, no matter the topic, no matter the conversation, I like finding out from you guys, like, what parting words? How would you inspire a budding, be it entrepreneur, restaurateur, or women entrepreneur in general? What would you say to her?
Um, don't quit. And sometimes words can seem hollow or like duh, obviously, But I don't mean don't quit in like the yeah girl don't quit. I mean don't quit in like the you will be like bone tired
Right.
and discouraged, and you will, if you're like me, come hide behind the ice machine and cry, like sob,
Wow.
like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. There are times when, yeah, sometimes you don't know exactly what to do, but do not quit.
Mhm.
Shake it off, sleep it off. If you need to take a day, sure, don't quit. You could do it.
The quitting part, a business owner, period. But the restaurant business, that's a totally different animal. I've
Hmm.
heard folks always, right, the old cliche, right? You see my glory, but you don't know the whole story behind, what has happened to get us here, and it's ongoing. You guys are always, knocking things out. Be it fires and something is always going on. So yeah, to have the right mindset and attitude, like you said, to not give up, just hang in there, whatever your goal or dream or aspirations are. But Heather, I'm just glad on behalf of all of Pigtown that you anchor here on the
Hmm.
main street. You've been bringing it. I tell you, like I said, I have not had a bad experience. Be it, I mean, from the service, let alone the food, just everything from top to bottom. So again, I'm just glad you guys are in the neighborhood, and I want to see you here for another 10, 15 plus years.
That's right. We're happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah. And what, Heather, thanks so much for joining me.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I know how busy you are. And yeah, just thanks for carving that time out. And to the audience, thanks for your continued support. And come do some life writing with me when you get a chance. Remember, this is where information is shared in hopes to help you write the life that you desire. Take care.